Yo, Mars. So you said a lot of things like in terms of when you have correct positioning, more than likely, or if you get there on time, more than likely you're not going to get that block because you already beat him to the spot. Is it crazy to think? All right, so Wemby averaged 3.6 blocks this year, which is
that's 4 basically.
fucking crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
But is it crazy to think that since we expect him to get smarter,
His blocks are gonna go down?
Yes.
I said that. Yeah, I think this is gonna
so?
be his career high in blocks. I think his rookie year is gonna be the most blocks he ever averages. Not because he's gonna get worse on defense.
Yeah,
but because he's gonna
actually gets better.
Yeah, he's gonna get. I think I've said it about Shaq before. I think Shaq's career high in blocks was his rookie year. That doesn't mean Shaq was at his best defensively as a rookie. It's some of it's you chase blocks as a rookie because hey, you want to block shots, and then some of it's just more disciplined. You're not jumping out of position. You're on time on your rotations. All of those things. I think it's. I don't know how common it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if you look at like a lot of the all-time shot blockers. I wouldn't be surprised if their highest seasons in blocks came very early on in their career, even away from their defensive peaks. Like Shaq, I'll go to Shaq. I know for a fact his best season in blocks was one of his first 2 years. He wasn't a better defender in 92, 93 than he was in 2000s. He just wasn't. But because he averaged more blocks, some people might feel that way. So I feel like with Wemby, he might average 3.5 blocks in his prime just because he's Wemby. But you're gonna notice a difference in his blocks in terms of that he won't be jumping out of position as much. It won't be a lot of recovery blocks. It won't be him blocking the ball out of bounds. It'll be him trying to maintain possession for his team. It won't be him chasing blocks and sometimes missing it, and then now he's not really getting a good contest. I think that's the biggest difference between Rudy and Wemby. Rudy contests shots to alter the shot, and if he gets a block, he gets a block. Wemby contests shots to block the shot, and sometimes if he doesn't block the shot, he can still alter your shot because of the length. But there's often times where he doesn't get as strong of a contest because he's trying to just block the ball, whereas Rudy's trying to just contest the shot. And I think that's the biggest difference between them two. Rudy doesn't have. I don't think Rudy averages 2 blocks. I might be wrong though.
I think it was 1.5 to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference. But you go back 5 years, I think Rudy was averaging like 2.5 blocks.
He was leading the league.
Rudy's become a lot more disciplined in that.
Right.
I agree. I agree with your logic on that. For the most part, I agree with that for the most part. But my thing about Wemby too, I think it has to do with a lot of people not realizing he can get to this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
What was that last part, Ox? The last part you said people don't realize.
I don't think people realize he can get to a lot of those shots. Like I think so. I think people are going to stop taking some of those shots too. So that might help not help, but that might be the cause of his blocks going down because people are shooting shots like, you can't touch this, and you look like what the, you know what I'm saying?
He's blocking floaters and all types of nonsense. Yeah.
And to your point, Mars, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Wemby had 5 of them. Wemby had 5 7-block games this year. 5 of them.
He had a triple-double with blocks this year.
He had a 10-block game this year. He had an 8-block game this year. Now, to be honest with you, I think that's just him just swatting shots away just to assert his dominance, not recognizing how much better of a defender he's going to be later on when he realizes that, all right, well, I don't have to block every shot. Kind of like a defensive end. Like I don't got to sack the quarterback every time. But if I put hands on him just to let him know that I was there, that's going to shake him up. That'll completely screw him up just so he'll know, yo, I almost got you.
Yo, shit, that's why I sucked at football. I'm on that DN trying to get to that quarterback every time the ball snaps.
I almost had you right there. I almost got you.
I don't know any other assignment. I'm getting to the quarterback, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
I almost had you right there. So to your point, I mean, a guy like Wemby, who I think is going to be much better later on. There's plenty of these guys. I think Olajuwon in I want to say year 4. Year 5. This is the 88-89 season when I thought he should have been like he didn't make the all-league defensive team. I think he led the league in blocks. He was second in the league in blocks. He averaged almost 5 blocks a game that year. Something like 4.6, something crazy like that. He didn't make the all-league defensive team. Now I know that's ridiculous.
That is
nuts. But Olajuwon at 88-89 was that 88-89 Olajuwon was not better defensively than 95 Olajuwon. He just wasn't. No, he was not. The numbers might show that, he looked much better. He wasn't. Olajuwon understood angles. Olajuwon understood how to rebound better. Olajuwon understood how to rim protect better. He was just better overall not just as an offensive player, but as a defensive player. 100% he was.
So that just kind of just led me down a rabbit hole. Who averaged the most blocks ever in a year?
Manute Bol, Mark Eaton, one of them.
Nah, it was Mark Eaton in 84-85. Dude had 456 total blocks and averaged 5.5 blocks per game.
Does that even sound correct? That's a block every quarter on average.
In some quarters too.
Yeah, Mark Eaton, an interesting guy, man. 7'5".
How many did you say, Ron? 5'5"?
5, to be exact, 5.56.
That's really 6 on average.
Yeah.
That's really 6. So again, that's a block every quarter.
75-76. Kareem averaged 4.1. Damn.
And by the way, they started recording blocks in Jabbar's 4th season. So we don't count the like 12 blocks a game that probably Russell would have been averaging, or the 10 blocks that Chamberlain would have been averaging, just off the strength of him doing that. Because they counting blocks. So I mean, I watched the 72 NBA Finals in Game 5. I don't know if you know this, Ron. Chamberlain had 8 blocks in that game.
Man.
8 blocks. In the closeout game, Game 5. He also had 8 assists too, Miles. I just want to put that out there.
Shout out to Will. He was a solid little basketball player.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was solid.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
In 83, Tree Rollins led the league in blocks with 4.29. The next year, Mark Eaton leads the league with 4.28. The next year, Mark Eaton turns back around, leads the NBA forever in all-time blocks in the season with 5.56, and then Manute Bol follows up the next season with 4.96.
That was his rookie year, right? Manute Bol, 4.96.
That's why, Mars, it gets tricky for me when it comes to Wemby, because I see the potential, but for the most part, I think Manute Bol finished 2nd that year in Defensive Player of the Year at his rookie year. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he finished higher than 4th after that. After that, he didn't finish higher than 4th. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, Manute Bol, he was in Philly. He had 7-8 block games, but he was a much better defender moving on. But there were people who thought that he could be this kind of defender. That's why I don't want to rush Wemby.
What year was that year?
Which year?
Manute?
His rookie season was the 85. I think his rookie season was the 85-86 season.
Yeah. But I think that has to do with who people that start coming into the league.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why he didn't, wasn't back in there. Just coming to the late 80s and early 90s, all the bigs coming through the NBA.
So Olajuwon showed up, Ewing showed up, a lot of other big, Robinson, David Robinson.
I think he just started playing less too. I'm pretty sure his rookie year was the most minutes he ever played, which is what I was thinking. Someone said it in the chat. I can't remember who it was. Wemby doing everything he did this year in like 29 minutes. It's possible he does still average like 3.5 blocks just on the fact that he's probably going to play like 7 more minutes a game. So like on a per possession basis, he'll probably block less shots. But in terms of per game averages, he probably blocked the same amount just because he's playing like 7 extra minutes. So I think that obviously plays a part in what you average. You playing more, you're going to average more, obviously. So that's possible too. It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. You're the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.